You know what? We're going to start everything Los Angeles right off the top of today's show. We'll start with the good. The Lakers. Don't look now. Sitting in that 2 spot. 7 straight wins for them. 15-4 on the season.
The Lakers just absolutely destroyed the New Orleans Pelicans in a performance that should have every Western Conference team paying attention. Luka Doncic dropped 20 points in the first quarter alone. Austin Reaves went nuclear for 33, and the entire team looked like championship contenders. This wasn't just a win. This was a statement game that exposed something terrifying about this Lakers roster.
But their offense and the dynamic backcourt is so elite. They're really, really good at getting to the free throw line and making you defend without fouling. They slow the game down. They get downhill. And those two guards, it's hard to find another better scoring backcourt in the NBA than Luka and Austin Reaves right now.
Before we break down exactly how Luka and Austin dismantled the Pelicans and why this performance has the rest of the league worried, tell me in the comments, are the Lakers legitimate championship contenders right now? Because after what just happened, that's not a crazy question anymore.
Doncic, one more once, if you will. Corner, got it! Luka! And they leave him alone for an instant. You can't leave him alone. And string music for Doncic. Austin. Oh, one way, then the other, all the way, and count it!
All right, so the Lakers just beat the Pelicans 133-121, and while the final score might look relatively close, this game was never in doubt. The Lakers were up by 26 at one point. They dropped 46 points in the first quarter. 46! That's the most they've scored in any quarter all season. And the scary part? They made it look easy. This wasn't some fluke performance where everything went right. This was systematic dominance led by 2 players who are playing the best basketball of their lives.
Luka fakes on PB. Now he just crossed him over. Look at that, Michael. Wow. Jackson Hayes scores. He got pushed, dude.
Let's start with Luka Doncic, because what he did in the first quarter was absolutely absurd. 20 points in 12 minutes on efficient shooting, while making it look like he was barely trying. Luka has this incredible ability to just walk around the court like he's window shopping, as one analyst put it, and then suddenly he picks something out he wants to do and he does it. Step back 3, done. Drive to the paint and draw a foul? Easy. No look pass for an assist? Of course. He's conducting an orchestra out there, and everyone else is just playing their instruments when he tells them to. What makes Luka so impossible to guard is that he's not relying on athleticism. If you ranked NBA players by pure athletic ability, Luka would be near the bottom. He's not the fastest, he's not the most explosive, he doesn't have the quickest first step. But he's so fundamentally sound, so skilled with the basketball, and so smart about using his body that none of that matters. He plays the game at his own pace, slowing defenses down, speeding up the offense when he needs to, and making reads that most players can't even see. The step-back 3 is his signature move, and watching defenders try to contest it is almost comical. He'll dribble so slowly that you think you have time to recover, and then boom, he's stepping back into a shot with 3 feet of separation. And he's doing this in the corner where there's barely any room to operate. That's not a lucky shot. That's pure skill and understanding of spacing and timing.
Look, you guys scored 46 in the first quarter. It's the most you've scored in any quarter all season long. But they were able to get back into the game. What's the lesson that you guys can learn in terms of going up big and trying to keep it big?
I mean, we were up 20. We only won by 12. But, you know, those games are kind of hard. The lessons are just keep doing what we're doing. We won, I think, 5 or 6 in a row. So keep doing 7. So keep doing what we do.
Luka finished the game with 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's a near triple-double against a team that, yes, was undermanned, but still had NBA-level defenders trying to stop him. And he did it in 32 minutes. He didn't even need to play heavy minutes because the game was essentially over by halftime when the Lakers led 77-57.
All-star numbers for sure so far this year. He's one of the best players in the league. Reaves got the bounce. Get some more. Connect.
Somebody got to shoot.
Well, you got 5. It's going to be Austin right here. And they leave him alone for an instant.
Then there's Austin Reaves, who's been on an absolute tear lately. 33 points tonight on efficient shooting. And over his last 3 games, he's averaging 34 points per game while shooting 70% from the field and 63% from 3. Those are video game numbers. That's not sustainable long-term, obviously, but the fact that he's even capable of reaching those peaks shows just how good he's become.
Austin Reaves, the main thing, you're winning a lot of games right now. This is 7 straight. This is another one along those lines, but where do you feel like you guys have been building of late?
I just think we're getting better, all around. The attention to detail, a little bit of everything, Second half was pretty, I would say, below par. But, all that matters is we get a win, we'll watch film, and get back at it tomorrow.
I mean, you do see that in the NBA most every night. You get up by 20, it can be tough, right?
To sustain. Than Austin Reaves right now. That's not hard.
I mean, well, that's sort of what he does.
It's not hard at all.
What makes Austin so dangerous is that he doesn't have one specific thing he does. He's not a guy who just shoots threes or just attacks the rim. He does everything. He can pull up from mid-range, he can drive and finish through contact, he can catch and shoot, he can create his own shot. And he's crafty with the basketball in ways that remind people of veteran players with 10-plus years of experience, not someone who's still relatively early in his career. The chemistry between Luka and Austin is exactly what makes this Lakers team so terrifying. When someone asked Luka what makes their backcourt work so well together, his answer was perfect in its simplicity. I think we're just good basketball players. That's it. No complicated explanation, no deep dive into offensive schemes, just two really good players who understand the game and know how to play off each other. And he's right. The reason they work so well together is that defenses cannot guard both of them at the same time. If you send help at Luka, Austin is knocking down threes at an elite rate. If you focus on Austin, Luka is getting whatever shot he wants or finding open teammates. The spacing is perfect, the decision-making is sharp, and the results speak for themselves.
It's hard to talk about the Lakers and how, MVP year from Luka, All-Star season from Austin Reaves, but you got to talk about DeAndre Ayton. He looks like he's found a home here and he's comfortable. The surprise of Jake LaRavia.
DeAndre Ayton also deserves credit for his performance tonight. 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. He was a defensive anchor, protecting the rim, contesting shots, and making the Pelicans think twice every time they drove to the basket. One of the analysts broke down multiple possessions where Ayton's presence alone altered shots or forced passes that led to turnovers. That's the kind of impact that doesn't always show up in the box score, but absolutely affects winning.
Look, another double-double from DeAndre. Just what does he mean to this team when he's operating that efficiently on offense and also, crashing the boards the way he does?
Yeah, great. Like I always say, he's a big thing for us, big help on us winning the games. So we appreciate him. Keep going like that. He's playing amazing.
The Lakers also only had 8 turnovers tonight, which was a season low. Ball security has been something J.J. Redick has emphasized, and seeing the team execute that well in a game where they were scoring at will shows maturity and discipline. When you're up big and the game feels easy, it's tempting to get careless with the ball. But the Lakers stayed locked in, mostly, and took care of possession after possession. Now, it wasn't perfect. The Pelicans did make a run in the second half. The Lakers let a 26-point lead shrink to something more manageable, and J.J. Redick was not happy about that in his post-game comments. He talked about how teams can get bored when they have big leads, and that's something the Lakers need to eliminate from their game. You can't give teams hope. You can't let them back in the game. You need that killer instinct where you're looking for the Mike Tyson knockout punch, not the Floyd Mayweather decision win. And Redick is right to be concerned about that, because the Lakers have a brutal stretch coming up. Tomorrow they play the Suns on a back-to-back. Phoenix has been playing really well lately. Then they go on the road to face Toronto, Boston, and Philadelphia. That's a gauntlet. Those are teams that will punish you if you let them hang around. The Lakers cannot afford to build big leads and then coast. They need to develop the habit of stepping on throats and finishing games decisively. What's encouraging is that the Lakers are 15-4 through 19 games. That's a fantastic start. They have the second longest win streak in the NBA right now, trailing only the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are on some historic run. The Lakers are second in the Western Conference. Everything is trending in the right direction. But as Redick said, there's still a lot of pizza left in the box. There's still room for improvement. The defense wasn't great tonight after the first quarter. Redick specifically called that out. When you're up big, it's easy to lose focus on the defensive end. Rotations get lazy, communication breaks down, guys start ball watching instead of staying attached to their man. That's how teams come back. The Lakers need to maintain defensive intensity for 48 minutes, especially against better opponents who can capitalize on those lapses. One interesting rotation note from tonight: the Lakers experimented with playing Jackson Hayes and Max Christie together with DeAndre Ayton in some lineups. That's an unusual combination, but it actually worked decently. Christie finished with a plus 14, tied with Ayton for second best on the team behind only Gabe Vincent's plus 15. These kinds of experiments are valuable because they give the coaching staff options for different matchups. Not every lineup works against every opponent, so having versatility in how you deploy your roster is crucial. The Lakers also got to see a brief appearance from Colin Castleton, who played less than 3 minutes but showed some athleticism and got a steal. One analyst mentioned wanting to see more of him to evaluate whether he has something to offer the rotation. That's a fair point. If you're not going to play Jared Vanderbilt, even in a game like this where matchups favor him, then you might as well give minutes to younger guys and see what they can do. Speaking of Vanderbilt, his complete absence from the rotation is becoming noticeable. The Lakers' rotation has shrunk to 8 or 9 players most nights. With Marcus Smart missing the last 2 games due to injury, it's gotten even shorter. That's not sustainable over a full season, especially with a tough stretch coming up. The Lakers need to diversify their rotation, extend some leashes, and trust some of their depth pieces. Otherwise, they risk running their core players into the ground before the playoffs even start. Austin Reaves talked about how the offense flows so naturally when you have players like Luka and LeBron who draw so much defensive attention. He said he doesn't go into games thinking he needs to force his shot attempts. He just plays the right way, and open looks come to him through the natural flow of the offense. That's a sign of a mature player who understands his role within a system. He's averaging over 30 points in the last 3 games, but he's doing it efficiently within the flow of what the team is trying to accomplish. The first quarter explosion was led by Luka's 20 points, but the entire team was clicking. They were moving the ball, getting open looks, and knocking down shots. 46 points in a quarter is ridiculous production. That's almost 50 points in 12 minutes. If you could sustain that pace for a full game, you'd score over 180. Obviously, that's not realistic, but it shows what this offense is capable of when everything is working. The Lakers are now 7-2 in their last 9 games. They're building momentum at exactly the right time. December and January are historically when teams figure out who they are. By that point, you've played everyone at least once. You've seen every style of defense and offense. You know your strengths and weaknesses, and you start making adjustments accordingly. For the Lakers, this upcoming stretch will be a real test. Playing the Suns on a back-to-back is tough. Then, going to the East Coast for 3 games and 4 nights is brutal. That's the kind of schedule that can derail a team if they're not prepared. But it's also the kind of schedule that can forge a championship identity if you handle it well. How you respond to adversity, how you manage fatigue, how you stay focused when things get difficult, those are the traits that separate contenders from pretenders. JJ Redick mentioned that he's been in the NBA for 19 years and can't remember a California-based team having to do a 3-game East Coast trip in 3 or 4 nights. That's an insane scheduling quirk, but the Lakers can't complain about it. They just have to handle it. And if they do, if they come out of that stretch with a winning record and their momentum intact, that will be a huge statement about their championship readiness. One thing that stood out from tonight is how comfortable the Lakers look playing together. There's no hesitation, no confusion about roles. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. Luka orchestrates the offense. Austin provides secondary scoring and playmaking. Ayton anchors the defense and cleans up on the boards. Role players like Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes know their spots and execute when called upon. That kind of cohesion usually takes months to develop, but the Lakers have it already less than 20 games into the season. The concern about letting teams back into games is valid, but it's also correctable. That's a focus issue, not a talent issue. The Lakers have the personnel to play lockdown defense for 48 minutes. They just need to maintain that intensity even when they're up big. That's a coaching challenge for Redick, and it's a maturity challenge for the players. Can they stay disciplined even when the game feels over? Can they resist the temptation to relax and coast? Those are questions that will be answered over the next few weeks. So there it is. The Lakers demolished the Pelicans behind historic performances from Luka and Austin, and they're proving they're legitimate contenders in the West. What do you think? Can this team actually win it all? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button, and subscribe for more Lakers breakdowns. This season is getting interesting. See you next time.